Yeah, that in itself is obviously an incredible feat, but that's also part of the reason that we're able to do what we do here at Q2. I think the intensity and the atmosphere. Again, there's a lot of good stadiums in this league, but the atmosphere here is incredible, and they give us spirit, they give us energy. The entire stadium, and then on the other side, the players' willingness, calmness, quality, grit, the hard work, the collective. It's all there to see every week. Obviously, we'd like to not go down goals, but when we go down, there's not us batting an eye, not for 1 second. And it's a testament to this entire group, the staff, and everybody that makes up this organization. And we're quite proud of them. So we'll enjoy the win. We'll review it like we do every game. There's some things we gotta clean up, but we're very pleased to get 3 points at home in front of our outstanding, amazing fans.
Before we start here, we do have a question from Jonathan Siegel at MLShockey.com to describe the moments after Sebastian's.
It's obviously it's pretty euphoric. You flipped the game from being down 3-1. I mean, we put them under a ton of pressure. Obviously, they're doing everything they could to stretch the game out, and in the end, we take the time and extra time and finish the game off. The first half I think is. They're sloppy plays. In the end of the day, they're quite sloppy. Brad took full ownership of the first half and some of the mistakes, positioning, and rightfully so. I think he understands the quality that he is, and to be able to do it in the second half, the intensity on the bench, the intensity with the fans was incredible. I don't think I've experienced anything like that. For me, that's about as a memorable moment as I've had as a coach. But a lot of thanks go to our fans and certainly to our players.
When you made those subs in the second half, what was your thought process behind those subs?
Get goals. Subs are there to change the game. It's real simple. Get them in. We have a clear understanding of how we want to go about getting goals and the pressure that needed to be there. And right away, they did exactly that. We execute against low block quite often in this stadium. We've trained it at length. Last year to this year, and again, when we start to pin teams in, we're very, very clear with how we're trying to get. We have arm farm on our set pieces with long throws, corner kicks, and free kicks, which I think generated 3 of our goals tonight. We second phase, third phase, we were doing a good job with that. And then the quality of the players. So the subs came in and did a hell of a job.
Yeah, just the way the first half transpired. Take me through how you guys were able to, like you said, you put the pass behind you. You were able to keep fighting. Just take me through tonight and how that happened.
I think you come in at halftime and you talk real clearly and openly and calmly about exactly what you put the first half behind mistakes. I mean, we drop a ball on a free kick, we give up a penalty needlessly, and somehow we don't deal with a long ball. So Kansas City's a good team. They did some things well, but goodness, we can deal with some of those things much, much better. So we're down 3-1, and you come in, and the first thing I said is, the last thing we need to do is panic. We've seen this scoreline, unfortunately, before, or at least a 2-goal deficit. So painting a picture of how we're going to get back into it is what we do. We show them, we illustrate it quite clearly in some of the actions in the first half of how it can be done. And then it's about executing. And the guys that started the half, I told them, give me what you got, because I got more guys ready to come in. And they came in and performed great. And we could have got more goals. And, deservedly so. We got 3 points here, and we'll rest up and get ready for a big game next weekend.
Build-up transition. Tell me what you saw in the first half that led to that.
Build-up transition. I'll have to look at it again.
Okay. And then for you, I mean, you talk about the players' resilience and their ability to fight, but a game goes from being what you planned to what it becomes. How have you as a coach been able to embrace that side of this team that you guys can just throw the plan out the window and go chase something?
I think that's the first thing, Chris. We don't throw the plan out the window. I mean, that's part of it. We took a shot in the face. So what? That's life, man. You got to get up and pick yourself up and keep moving. We don't throw the plan out. The plan is exactly what we go back to, and that's why this team performs. If you look at the games that we've come back, you're going to see a real clear blueprint each and every time. Really, really clear. So, it's unfortunate that you think we throw the plan out, because we're very structured, very organized, and we do a great job with it. And I hope people understand that and appreciate that. And it's unfortunate that you don't.
Just thoughts on Hosen's and Gallagher's strikes. I mean,
awesome. Danny Hosen is man of the match for me today. without a doubt. Guy doesn't get minutes, and when he gets minutes, you name it, which game he's come in and he's given us goals or created goals. It's not easy being a striker that doesn't see the minutes that he probably wants to see. He remains a good teammate, good spirit in and around the group. It's easy to be sour, but that's not happening in this group. There's so much life and energy and positivity. That's why we don't change the script. We don't throw it out, because we still know and believe in what we're doing. And we've scored 54 goals. These guys know how to score goals. The goals against Red Bull are hokey, fluky. Tonight, hokey, fluky for me. But we got to get better. We got to defend better. But Danny was awesome coming off the bench. Johnny, great strike from distance. Felipe came in. Obviously, Johan came in as well. Z's service. So we got contributions from everybody, as always. It's a fantastic collective group effort.
An analogy here is Drusy kind of as close to like a Michael Jordan or Wayne Gretzky or LeBron James.
He's Driussi. He's the Driussi. And, we can't talk too much in parallels to other sports, but he's extremely important to this group. I think he's extremely important to this league when you see what he's able to do, what he's been doing since the day he got here. His growth mindset, his desire to continue to get better and believe and trust in us as a staff is awesome, because that's not the case for every player. To put forth the effort that he always does, you saw it in the All-Star. He's running around, defending. That's not normal. I mean, we saw many other players. It's to be fun, but he wants to compete. He wants to win, and he, along with everyone else, wills himself to that space. And his quality is fantastic.
Yes, Josh. Continue with the talk about Driussi.
Yeah.
Was there any thought about him not starting him?
No.
Due to the game?
None.
MLS game?
None.
And the follow-up, was there a thought of having Corozo come in as part of the plan, despite the goals?
Look, Machita is a guy that, for us, we know exactly what he can bring. He's fantastic in a 1v1. We did a lot of defensive work this week, and that's what's needed. I think his quality is clear. He can give you a little bit of unbalancing with his 1v1. He kept some plays alive for us as well. Kansas City was sitting deep, makes it a little bit easier on us, knowing that they're just going to try and go in transition, and we're able to pen them in. And Machita helped keep some balls alive there as well, and he'll hopefully see some more minutes. But it's a competitive group. It's not easy to get on the field. Diego's done a great job all year. He's coming in to take that position. It's not easy to take Diego off the field. I moved him to a 10 because quality between lines, getting in front of goal is his strength. And we made a few subtle movements within the group, but they paid off. And in the end, our guys did a great job executing and finishing out the game.
Yeah, congrats on the win, Coach.
Thanks.
Just kind of in reference to that fourth goal, just how important is the verticality that Ethan Finley provides the team?
Yeah, it's extremely important in our game model, and we're clearly much more prevalent on the right side with Ethan and Rodney and Owen at times. Diego, Sebastian, and Johnny have a good interchange on the left, and I think you have to be able to stretch the field to make space for players underneath. And Maxi does a decent job of that as well, but we've asked him at times to recognize what's the opponent doing to our attacking mids and being an option between lines. Danny Hosen the same, Musa. So, but you got to stretch lines, or else the team can just crush the space. So, playing behind lines, purposefully playing behind lines, around them, over them, and through them are the phrases that I work with our guys week in and week out. And based on what we see in the opponent, we emphasize various things. So, Ethan did a great job all night. He hung in there and, obviously got us some plays as well, and certainly redeemed for the penalty kick. He takes that extremely personally, and he's a warrior. He's an absolute warrior.
Julio Lucas Cante is kind of one of the offensive defensemen, right?
Yeah.
I guess how much better does he make the defense overall that with the kind of he's able to push forward a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think that when there's moments, certainly on set pieces, we want to keep guys up and around that area on set pieces. His offensive quality to get on the end of things, keep things alive is quite good. It comes a difficult task now when we're obviously pushing numbers and we're going to get a little isolated, and it got us fast, so you're going to have to live with that a little bit. But our active defending, our positioning while we're finishing attacks has gotten much better, much more aggressive this year. It's not perfect, but his ability to now size up situations, when to step, when to now make contact, when to drop, I think has been a big part of his learning curve from first year to second year. With the ball, he's been quite good. I think that's where we've seen most of his growth and calmness. But he and Ruben have formed a pretty good relationship. There's things that we still need to work on, clearly, but he's been a quiet, real bright spot for us this year.
You guys have been at or near the top of the table for a little while now, and while it's still year 2, do you kind of sense that a lot of the teams, when they see Austin on the schedule, are, bringing it a little extra with you guys being one of the top teams?
Yeah, I think when you get to this time of the year, there's a separation from the teams that are trying to get in and the teams that are trying to bolster up and find a strong position. I think all year teams enjoy coming to Q2. It's a phenomenal atmosphere. It's great energy and intensity. The fact that we've been playing well, it obviously heightens some senses for sure. I think we all enjoy going to play and going to compete against the best or what's considered the league's best. And we get Kansas City. I knew, we got them at a good time when we played them there. They were going to come. They have quality, and unfortunately, they probably haven't gotten the results they want or deserve this year. But they have enough firepower to hurt you. So we get the best from everybody. We expect the best from everyone.
And then, kind of long term, how have you been balancing in a game like tonight, process versus results, where you got 3 points, but it might not have been exactly the route you wanted to get?
Yeah, I think part of it is adjusting and adapting to the situation, but staying really calm and purposeful with what we're trying to do. You got to assess what's happening in the game. It's it's a penalty kick, it's a free kick that our goalie doesn't hold, and the other one's a long ball that we don't deal with the first one. Our center back goes under his foot under our goalie. So there's some levels to that are certainly preventable. There's other situations that we could have been better, but we stick to the plan. And I can't say that enough and how important that is. These guys, they don't detract from that. And, I think we've done a really good job delivering what that looks like and how we train it and how we teach it and, our language when we're discussing it. Because, again, if you look at the times we've come back, you're going to see a real consistency to what those comebacks are. But also just the way that we normally play.
Let's take one more question. I want to make sure you guys
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you say when these comebacks have all had a theme to them, and whether it's when you say sticking to the plan, obviously you've got a way that you play. What is it though about these moments that seems to get the best out of this group, that you guys have played some of your best soccer backs against the wall?
I think there's a quality inside the group. There's a ton of character, and I think there's a great leadership within the group, and I think those things combined. When we're playing well, we do certain things really well, and it's not that we're playing terrible. We're giving up goals, and unfortunately that happens. We don't want to give up goals. Trust me when I say that. But when it happens, it's not the end of the world, and now we just got to throw everything we have at the game. You still want to keep some structure and find ways to get yourself back into it. We have to take some more risks when we're down, so transition becomes a little bit more common, and that's the challenge. But I think we got to keep getting better. Stay humble, stay hungry. This group's still got a little